You've been listening to this album, Project 43, Sanifu Al Hall Jr., the Cosmosdwellerz Orchestra, all original music by him, and he's going to join us very soon. I might give him a call now and see. I get the sort of disengage here a little bit. Kind of dealing with some very sophisticated high-tech situation here. And, you know, I'm not an engineer and I'm not even really an audiophile, believe it or not. I make do with what I got, and I'm very excited about this album. And so we'll see what happens, and give him a call, and maybe he will. I'm gonna talk to him through the phone. Hello, Sanifu.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing? I'm getting ready to plug you in right now.
Okay, Mitch.
I think. Well, okay. You there?
Yeah, I'm down here.
Let's see, is it coming through?
Yeah, I can hear you well. I don't know what you hear on your end.
I don't know. Here I am trying to make it happen here.
Take your time.
There we go. There you are. You just came through.
All right.
You know,
Hey.
I just I took the liberty, if you don't, hope you don't mind, of playing some of your Jean-Pierre, and your solo. You know, with the synth arrangements and things you were doing. You know, just because I thought it was very exciting, rather than playing, you know, a more traditional, the head up front. You know, if you don't mind, just because I wanted folks to be able to listen to your soloing and everything. This is really a terrific album. So how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I mean, there's so much to this record. It's the blend of styles. Like I was just playing, you know, the use of the. It's very compositional. Like you have a lot of room for you guys to blow. Doug Carn's a guest on it, and Henry Franklin, all these great musicians. But yet, you know, you have all this room to blow and people solo, yet it's very compositional. There's a lot of composing, a lot of original ideas musically. What comes to your mind when you talk about that?
Well, I try to go ahead and give the guys a frame to work with. You know, give them a good compositional start, and,
yep.
And give them some space to just go ahead and complete the picture. You know,
mm-hmm.
Set up a good arrangement for them, and turn them loose.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's what I love is your balance. Like I just was listening to your solo there, and you sound great. You know. And hearing you blow like that, it's been some time since I've heard you solo over your own music, or you know, and go in the studio, and then all those background figures and stuff. But I guess what I'm saying is that there's a balance, not only between soloing and composing, but also musical styles. When you say like, I get it, you know, you look at the album covers, feeling a little bit of a hard, you know, you think a hard bop, kind of a Blue Note type of thing with the design a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But there's all this electronic texture, and it's just a lot going on. So you got it going on. So talk about that.
Well, we tried to put together a picture of not just the acoustic instruments, but like you said, we had some electronics in, and
right.
You know, we were just trying to do something a bit different. You know.
Well, you were always doing things differently. I mean, I'm wondering, you know, and I think that we were just listening to 3 Jazz, but you know, the whole album is great. Blue Pixels and then the flashback. And how much, I guess this is kind of a question that answers itself, but how much, you know, you work with some of the, you know, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, Marvin Gaye, and then all the, you know, the jazz things you were doing, Freddie Hubbard. Do you feel that it all comes together when you write? Like when you write it, all those experiences, you kind of reflected somewhere in there and what you're doing.
Well, you know, Mitch, I think we talked about it. We talked about it a little bit previously. I don't really look at things on in a genre level all the time. You know,
Right.
I just like let the music take me where it's going. You know, I you know I draw on everything that I've done, and you know I've always tried to stay outside of the box.
Outside of the box, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you hear that in the music. I just feel like, you know, did you want to talk a little bit technically about the music on this, about either the rhythm or harmonies or anything that, you know, you like, or the concept of the waltz or the 3/4, the heartbeat and the Project 43?
Well,
so much, you know.
what the goal was this time was to do something. It's been done before, but what we wanted to do was try to do some things in triple meter,
Right.
but we wanted to camouflage that a little bit. We didn't want it to sound waltzy or anything like that, but we wanted to have that 3/4 pulse going on all the time, and each composition is in 3/4, but it's all at a different tempo and has a different vibe to it.
That's right.
You know, I draw upon all kinds of harmonic techniques to put this thing together, and we try to have some strong melodies there.
Oh yeah.
You know, have real strong melodies, balance off with good harmony, good rhythm, and usually that sets a good foundation. Well, the main thing is to lay something down that the musicians feel comfortable playing. You know,
right.
You know, they got to feel what they're doing. They got to want to do it. It's got to relate. The music has to relate to the players, and the players have to relate to the music. And when that happens, you know, something magic usually comes out of it.
Well, I know on this project you did a little bit of dubbing, right, or overdubbing, or didn't you have different sessions where you had different musicians come in, and I feel like I only mention that because, you know, if I don't know anything about you and I hear this album, it all sounds live. Like it all sounds to me like it was done live, and you know, you would never, you know, I guess maybe that's the
I understand what you're saying. Well, we tried to put it together that way. You know, we were looking for the final product to come out sounding like that. But it was a labor of time. And we did do a lot of overdubbing and that sort of thing. You know, that's my production technique.
That's right.
You know, that I've been using, or that I've really used on this particular project at least. We just took our time and let the music go where
it needs to go.
Where it took on its life on its own. You know.
But I mean, all your you have a lot of engineering and producing wisdom, you know, above and far beyond musicianship and trombone, and you just mentioned that just now, and it's interesting that when you do a project, you bring that to the studio, that to the table. Is there anything that comes to your mind that's important to you about that, or anything that you feel that you always want to do in terms of, you know, because I know you got Doug Karn on here, and you have Abby. I mean, the list of Gina Garcia. I mean, the list of musicians is great, but you sort of is there anything that, you know, you feel is most important when you're producing like that and you're doing dubbing?
Well, I try to select musicians that fit the project. I don't really get into the personnel a lot until I start writing the music. And once I start writing the music, I start thinking about, the players.
Okay.
And, and fortunately, you get these players in mind, and then you talk to them, and you talk to their friends, and personnel just starts kind of coming together, and once that happens, things start to go on magically, because what I like to do is I like to see the musicians fit into the project kind of from the outside, and they are really coming into the project not knowing exactly what it is, but once they get into the project, they start, the project and the musicians, it kind of starts to gel,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's exciting to hear it all come together. Is there anything that's on your mind today, or anything else you want to say about being cosmos dwellers and
well, we tried to put it together in such a way that the mission themselves would make the final sound, would give the final sound. So what we did was try to come up with the unique instrumentation.
Right. Oh, it's very. I'm glad you mentioned that, because you've always been. I remember you were talking to me about when you first were creating this project. You were very. I was very conscientious about vibraphone, euphonium, African drum, soprano saxophone, Rhodes, toy piano, electric upright bass. I mean, you're very. You're an orchestrator. That's orchestration, So
once you put those particular instruments together in a unique fashion, you're going to have a unique sound. And I'm thinking, like, if you really listen to that, Mitch, I think you can hear, for instance, like the guitar and the vibe.
Yep.
There's a lot of George sharing in that,
Absolutely. Well, you mean, it's like that kind of thing, right? There's a little bit of that,
You're right. So you just what you do is
I would never have thought of that.
You grab things from your background, and you put them in there, and the listener doesn't really perceive it right away.
They don't perceive it right away. But like, I didn't perceive the shearing until you mentioned it. That's like Cal Jader. That's like some little bit of Cal, but that's your California. See how much of that is the California roots there with Cal Jader and Henry Franklin. There's a little bit of a Californian.
And when you fuse that stuff together, something unique happens. You have a Art Blakey style front line going against the George Sherry rhythm section kind of a sound. You just start putting things together.
Yeah.
And it gives you a uniqueness.
Yeah. I mean, that's because it's because you're not in a box. You know all the boxes. You know all the. You're not in a box. So that's it. That's what happens.
Yeah, we tried to get the musicians to do something that, if you really listen to the different songs on the album, the compositions, you really don't hear something that's been duplicated.
No,
we don't really have that instrumental combination.
No,
it takes on the uniqueness, and once that happens, your personal sound just takes shape.
Well, everybody's solo is so great on this. I mean, I was just playing Jonah Pierre and your solo, and everybody gets to shine. So again, you know, they're composed pieces. It's like chamber music. It's almost like what you've done is you created like a kind of a chamber music, improvisation. Yeah, it's just it's your own
yeah.
thing.
Well, we were lucky, and I think why the guys everybody solos so well is because they were relating to what was going on and they were having fun.
Yep. Yeah.
And we did some, we talked it through it, rather.
Yeah.
And we did some unique things. I gave some of the musicians on Free Jazz, for instance. I did what I call a MIDI sketch.
That's right.
So they kind of knew what I was trying to do before they got into the studio.
Mm-hmm.
So
well, I notice in your writing you don't overwrite. You tend more towards a minimal amount of changes and things like that. And I believe in that very strongly. I like that you do that. I think too many musicians out there, their sketches are too clogged with almost too much information, and you seem to find the balance there for a soloist.
Yeah, it's a balance. It's a balance.
So,
but the chords, the harmonic structure of the tune, they kind of guide you along,
Right. Absolutely. I mean, you gotta have, well, you have to have that, and you have to, but it's a question is, what I'm saying, that's my preference is it's not overwritten and it's like just right, and I'm sure I'm sure you've experienced a lot of, not a lot, but some sessions of composers that I think put in too much, a little bit, and that's kind of.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
So. Well, is there anything else you want to say before we conclude this mini-sode? Your generosity of spirit and this music is fantastic. So I'm happy that you could show up and talk to us about it.
It was a
pleasure being
able to do that with you, Mitch. We've done a few sessions before. It was just good to be able to do a project that covered the digital spectrum, and
right.
Also able to get it out there to the vinyl collectors,
Yeah, that's right.
And we've had good response with it to be an independent album.
Absolutely, it's an independent album. It is on vinyl, and I think you'll agree with this. Anytime anybody, the experts or the media or whoever says, this thing is dying, this thing is dead, they like Mark Twain said, the report of my demise has been a little bit too premature, and so vinyl may be forever too, and records.
Yeah, well, it's a record, like the digital domain, those are pieces that kind of go out in the air and get lost.
Yeah.
But vinyl is you never hear anyone say a CD record or a stream record or a cassette record, but a vinyl record is a record. It's a document.
Oh yeah.
And it not only does it have the music, but it has historical information, information about where it was, how it was recorded.
Oh yeah.
That particular information, that liner note information, is a very important part of the record.
Absolutely.
And with the digital domain, I think that gets lost.
It always. So I love Gina's writing. I mean, I love the liner. I mean, that's what you're. I mean, that's to me half of it or more than half. I mean, and I'm glad you pointed that out because that's you want to preserve that. Like who plays on it, who solos on it, who wrote it. When was it done, and make it look beautiful like this, the beautiful colors of blue, shades of blue. So
great, Mitch.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I will talk to you soon.
Okay, well, thank you very kindly for having me on now.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Take care.
Take care.